Thank you for that stirring introduction. My name is Ben Kimberlin. I am married. I'm really excited because I just found out my wife is pregnant. Yeah, right. We're pretty excited because we're gonna have an abortion, right? We even got a whole new set of coat hangers, right? Right? See, people tell me not to make that joke because it's fucked up and karma's gonna get me. But karmically, that means I'm not gonna have any children, which I'm okay with. Because honestly, my feeling on children is there are enough fucked up people in the world I don't need to be making anymore. All joking aside, my wife is really cool. One of the things that is coolest about her is she takes me to strip clubs. We go to strip clubs as a couple. And I tell people that and they're blown away. They're like, oh my God, your wife takes you to strip clubs? Yeah. And then 80% of the time I get the dumbest question. Well, are you like bringing home strippers to bang? No, that's a prostitute. That's a very different profession, right? Speaking of hookers, I was visiting my dad one time, and no, this joke is not going there. But I'm visiting my dad one time, and it's me and him and my stepmom in the car, and she during the conversation goes, "Honey, I've never seen a hooker before." And my dad goes, "Yeah, you have. You just don't realize it." She goes, "Well, could you point some out to me?" He goes, "Sure." So he gets off the freeway. We're driving through the bad part of Sacramento. He's pointing them out. There's one, there's one, there's one. She goes, "Oh my God, they're all so gross. How do they get work?" And he goes, "Well, they keep the back of their hair parted real nice." Because they're giving blowjobs. Because they're hookers. That's what they do. Right? All right, scratch that one from the list. That one didn't work. Right, well, we stopped at a light and I pointed a girl out to my stepmom and she goes, "Oh, she doesn't look that bad." And my dad goes, "That's because she's a cop." And she goes, "How do you know?" He goes, "Because she doesn't look that bad." You don't turn to a life of hooking if you're a good-looking girl. I work in a restaurant on the Strip, and this woman came up to me one day and she goes, "Hey, nerd." Now, look, I'm a nerd, I get that, but I don't like to be called out in public like that. And people say, "Oh, nerds are so trendy right now." No, nerds are so trendy right now. The difference between what's trendy right now and an actual nerd is if you slam a locker door in somebody's vicinity and they flinch involuntarily, that's a real nerd. If you say the word swirly, they have a PTSD-style flashback to high school, that's a real nerd. I have a hard time even saying that word anymore. But she goes, "Hey, nerd," and I turn around and I went, "Yeah?" And she goes, "But you're the cutest nerd ever." And I went, "Wow, you really overestimate how attractive you are." Now, in my defense, I was not telling her anything she didn't know, because she did not go through life looking like that without somebody going, "Wow, you really look like Willem Dafoe in drag." She was bad looking too. She's like, "Well, I was just gonna ask you for a light," and I'm like, "Well, you can't smoke here." I would tell her to stop smoking, but clearly the damage has been done. Of course, I really can't say much because she's ugly, but I'm fat. I'm not struggling to breathe fat, but I am struggling to get up a flight of stairs fat. My New Year's resolution this year was to lose enough weight that when I brushed my teeth, my belly didn't jiggle. But then they opened a Golden Corral in my neighborhood with a chocolate fountain. Good news is I can still keep my resolution. I just have to stop brushing my teeth. I'm getting older, and I hate that phrase, "I'm getting older." Yes, I'm getting older. Everybody's fucking getting older. We're not getting younger. It's a stupid phrase, "I'm getting older." But I'm starting to notice shit now. I'll be 29 next month, and I'm starting to find more gray hairs. I would be more worried about it if they were all on my head, right? They don't tell you that shit when you're in school, right? When you're in 5th grade, and they separate the boys and girls and tell the boys, "Oh, you're gonna start to have feelings about girls and grow hair in funny places." They don't tell you that all of that hair turns gray. Right? And the way that I discovered it was fucked up because I'm sitting at the computer, I've got my favorite porn window open, I'm about to have some me time, right? And I unzip my pants, holy shit, right? I ran into the bathroom like my balls were on fire. I was like, "Oh my God!" They don't make just for men for that, right? I had to use the stuff they make for the beard. I don't think it's fair that men need women, but women don't really need men. Women are vital to our existence and our identity as men. But I know a lot of women that would rather be left to their own mechanical devices. And there's no more bigger example of this than strip clubs, right? You go to a gentleman's club and all the girl has to do is show up and be naked. She doesn't have to be particularly talented or good at dancing or in a lot of cases even very attractive. She just has to be naked. Women's strip clubs though, like my wife went to one of these shows, right? And she came back and described it to me. I thought she went to a Cirque show. There was a fire breather and a guy juggling and a fat guy and a midget. It was apparently amazing, right? But they don't have that for guys. Although I would pay to see like a female stripper juggling on stage. That shit would be hilarious. I was in a strip club fairly recently, and me and my wife were watching a girl dance on stage, and this one guy didn't feel like he was getting enough attention from the stripper, so he reached up and took his dollar back. Right? Yeah, look, my face looked exactly like yours does right now, sir. I was blown away. I couldn't believe the cojones on this guy. And so she saw him do this, and the stage was raised just a little bit, and we're all sitting in chairs. She comes over and kicks him in the chest. It's like, give me back that dollar. It's my dollar, bitch. So they got into an argument. He called her a whore. She called his mother a whore. And then three very large gentlemen in very, very nice suits came and asked him to leave. And when he refused, they hurled him out like a sack of potatoes. I don't know if you've ever seen flood victims like trying to build a wall to stop the water, but that's exactly what it looked like. One guy tossed him to another guy who tossed him to another guy who tossed his ass out of the club. It was awesome. Best dollar I ever spent. Anyway, Kim and Kanye West had a baby recently. Don't worry, I'm not going to make fun of the name because every fucking comedian's already done that. But that baby's birth actually terrifies me, and I'll tell you why. Nobody's really paying attention to this, but like a year before, Snooki had her kid, a little boy named Lorenzo. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the end of days. These are the last times. Because in 15 to 20 years, those two children are going to meet. They're going to conceive, and the child that they give birth to is going to give rise to the douche-apocalypse. So enjoy the time that you have right now. Wow, I got nothing on that, really? Wow. All right, well, that's my time. I'm going to get off stage here. Y'all have a wonderful night.